This John Lothian news video is sponsored by Fund managers are faced with a myriad of challenges, from trading and risk management to compliance and operating a business. But the challenge of marketing and raising money can be most daunting of all. John Lothian News spoke with Alan Snyder, managing partner of Shinnecock Group, who says there are several keys to attracting institutional investors, and one of them is sharing your secret sauce. Snyder said that providing deeper information about how a fund trades is part of the real key in the sales process, engendering trust.
There's a fundamental premise. Financial services is an intangible. It's not like buying a car where you can go kick the tires, decide I want, red or black paint. So you've got to create trust. Then you say, I must have an investor trust me that I will be a good steward of their money. So everything to raise capital must be tied around how are you going to engender that trust by the potential investor. Then there's specific things to do, of course. One, which so many managers seem to forget, you've got to differentiate yourself from everybody else. What's your secret sauce? What's your point of being different than the guy sitting next to you? Critically important, and so many managers are afraid, saying, if I share what I'm doing, maybe somebody will copy it. Institutional investors are not interested in that, copying you or stealing your idea. They're interested in knowing that your track record is replicatable. It's not random. It's not just the luck of a few years. They want to know that it can be continued going forward. The one critical element, I think, is the basic, creating the trust. Second, I'd say there's several. Point of differentiation. What is the uniqueness, that edge that a manager has? Third, it's then taking that message and working it into everything that you're doing and giving the investor the chance to absorb it, whether that's through a DDQ, due diligence questionnaire, whether it's through a PowerPoint presentation, whether, here's something that's a little bit unusual, frequently asked questions, stealing it out of the corporate world. As a manager, take all of those questions that you've been asked, and the ones that you're afraid if somebody asks you, write out the answers, where you can carefully, thoughtfully think through the answer, and then write it out. And now when an investor wants to do due diligence on you, they can look through that list and find the questions that they would have asked. And you've given your most reasoned answer to it. So then you get rid of all the underbrush and can deal with more substantive issues. That their time is more precious than that of the institutional allocators. They say, oh, Alan, I don't have time to do all that. You got to sweat the details. Sweating the details means in your offering materials, don't have typos. In your marketing materials, don't have sentences that make no sense. Respect the reader, respect the person that you're talking to. I think the positive things that managers do is bring enthusiasm to what they're doing and the commitment to it. I think it's truly awesome when a manager says, I have my entire net worth invested in what I'm doing. I have all my friends that I've proselytized to join me. I've got my family members in it. That person now has true, passionate skin in the game. How can you not be impressed by that? Because they're going to eat, live, and breathe what they're doing. Managed Futures has gone through a tough slog. Depending on how you want to track it, they've had either 3 or 4 years of subpar performance, unevenly distributed, but as a category, troubled. We're starting to see green shoots, if you will, a hackneyed phrase, but Green shoots emerge because we're seeing dispersion between different managers. It's not everybody doing poorly. We're starting to see some managers start to regain their mojo. They're doing well. And in fact, in the last 3 months, you're starting to see the entire category do better. And since the future space, so much of it is comprised of trend followers of all different flavors and characterizations, the trend followers are doing much better. So that's lifting almost all of their boats.